Hi, so today I performed the iodine clock reaction. I started by gathering the materials that I needed. We got cornstarch and then your vitamin C, and then I've got some hydrogen peroxide here and some iodine, and then I also have distilled water. I started by making two separate solutions, solution A and solution B. We started with solution A, and the first step was to crush 4 500 milligram vitamin C tablets. So you can see there I just crushed them into a really fine powder, and then I added that to about 350 milliliters of the distilled water. I mixed it together and got this really yellowy looking solution right there. After that, I strained it through a coffee filter to just get all that excess vitamin C that wouldn't dissolve. So you can see right there is my strainer, and I just held it on there with a rubber band. There's another picture of it. There's a rubber band right there to keep the filter on. And then that's kind of what it looked like inside. It drained very, very slowly, so I moved on to solution B while I waited for this one to finish. And the first step in solution B was to add about 0.4 grams of cornstarch to about 350 milliliters of distilled water. You get a really cloudy solution when you do that. And it looks, this is just a photo of the cornstarch in the bottom of the glass, just to get an idea of how much I used. And then we've got, that's the cornstarch and water mixture right there. And it was really cloudy, so I boiled it and used a coffee filter to strain it and try and make it a little bit more clear. I did this 4 times, but I really couldn't get it as clear as I would have liked it to have been. But since it wouldn't clear out any further, I just decided to continue with the experiment. So I added about 150 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide to the solution and then set it aside as solution B. I then went back to solution A. That's a picture of the final solution B, as clear as I could get it, actually. And then this is solution A. Right there at the bottom, you can see it looks a lot more clear. It's not yellow anymore. And I added 60 milliliters of 2% iodine to it. So that's the whole bottle of iodine right there, 60 milliliters. So you can see that's a picture of it being added. It just turns clear when you add it. That's another picture of adding the iodine. All right, then I added enough distilled water to give me about 500 milliliters of solution A, and then I poured 60 milliliters of solution A into a glass with 60 milliliters of solution B. So you can see here we've got solution A, just looks clear and plain, and then solution B, it looks pretty much the same. You can't really tell that there is a difference. So this is the glass, and I just poured 60 milliliters and 60 milliliters evenly. And that is just getting ready to pour it. Right. You can scroll down. That's another photo of it getting poured. That's what it looks like when you first pour it. And then this is what it looks like after about 1 minute and 20 seconds. And then I did take a little video of that because I thought it was really neat. It happens pretty quickly. It takes a while, but when it happens, it's almost instantaneous. The color changes from clear and goes right to this dark blue black color. And it only took about 1 minute and 10 seconds for that to happen, and I did it a couple times, 1 minute and 20, but it was all relatively the same. So the reason that this happens is because solution A is composed of vitamin C and colorless I- ions, and solution B is composed of hydrogen peroxide and starch. When these solutions are mixed, they have two separate reactions that are essentially fighting against each other. Hydrogen peroxide tries to oxidize the I- ions back to colored I2 ions. At the same time, the ascorbic acid wants to reduce I2 back to I-. After a while, vitamin C is consumed by the excess of hydrogen peroxide, and I2 starts to accumulate. I2 then quickly complexes with I- to form a triiodide complex, and this quickly complexes with starch. This all happens really fast and leaves us with the blue triiodine starch that you can see in my video. The concentration and the temperature of the solution A and B will determine how quickly this process occurs. So the first time that I did it took me about 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the second time I actually heated up my two solutions that I started with, and it happened much quicker, even getting to 1 minute and 10 seconds. So this was an explanation of how I completed my iodine clock reaction and how it works. So thank you very much.